Hello, Wankers.
What's up, Vankers?
Howdy, Vankas. Howdy. Let's all salute, gentlemen. Let's all salute our fallen
all the
brethren.
Wankers, to the Wankers, yeah.
That's right.
Salute all the Wankers.
As three just three American guys saluting Logan Sargeant for his service in Formula One. He's out. He's out, baby. He's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, I was just at a fake funeral because that's why I'm wearing a suit. I'm shooting a movie right now, and I was at a fake funeral, and we're at a proverbial Formula One funeral for Logan Sargeant today. Yeah. What are you making of this, Guenther?
I think we saw it coming, huh? I don't think it's a big surprise, to be honest. You know, it's one of these things. I mean, I think he tried hard, but sometimes it is not enough. I mean, he had, and this year especially, he just overdid it. And in Zandvoort, it was like, wow, that was a proper mistake.
A proper mistake. Now, Guenther, I know you don't have a lot of experience with this, so you're going to have to use your imagination.
I know nothing anyway. I know nothing.
What does it do to your weekend when you're like in last, you're near the back anyway, and you got a young driver, you just put new parts on the car, and a young driver in FP3 just hurls it into the wall. I want you to close your eyes and try to put yourself there. What do you think it does to your team? Because you've never actually experienced this before yourself.
I don't even have to close my eyes. I see it still in front of me, you know, so.
PTSD,
what it does,
dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I still get, I get the shakes here, you know. So, no, what it does is, it is not only because people said, "Oh, you shouldn't always speak about money." It's not about the money. It's about the amount of work which goes in, the effort, and then you rightly said, Matt. I mean, it's like he was not racing for a podium or for a P1, you know. He was racing be 19th, basically, you know. It's like at some stage he just
FP3.
Yeah, he wasn't even racing.
Yeah, exactly.
If you do it in quali, there's a little bit of an excuse, but FP3 to total your car like that it's inexcusable.
No, but he just tried to do something so he's ready for qualifying, and as you say, it's FP3, guys. Just go 99.9%, and if you cannot do that, do 95% because you're last, and it's FP3.
Right. I think it begs the question for me. Because obviously we're talking about the Logan Sargeant news. He's out. He's being replaced by Franco Colapinto, who's currently in F2. He's, I think, in 5th or 6th place in F2. He's in 6th place. He's 1 point ahead. He's 1 place ahead of the golden child who's going to Mercedes, Kimi Antonelli. Yeah. But, it begs the question is like why they re-signed Logan in the first place. Because, I mean, listen, I know that there's a chance. I know that there's maybe it's good, but like most of the F1 fandom was thinking this is not going to end well. This is going to end poorly. And they did this whole song and dance of re-signing him. And now this has happened. And it just begs the question, like, I know that like we all want to feel like we're good guys out here. And I feel like James Vowell's like, I'm a good guy. Logan's tried hard, but it's like we could all see this coming.
Yeah. Mr. Hindsight, huh? Captain obviously.
We were saying it was. I mean, we were hoping.
Everybody was hoping. Everybody was hoping, and I think they made the commitment to Logan beginning of last year or the end of the year before, and said, let's try. Last year he wasn't good, but he said, let's try one more year. But obviously he couldn't get to the one more year because it was over. But he would have been out anyway end of this year. And then they just said, enough is enough. It's one of these moments where they just say, enough is enough. We cannot do this anymore. This is the road to nowhere.
Yeah, they couldn't even wait till the lease was up. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, no, they didn't.
I guess my question is I get like, oh wait, we gotta stop the pain now. This is just getting painful. I get that they yank him with 9 races to go and they're, battling for 8th, right? But what confuses me is if they're trying to course correct or stop the bleeding, what do you think the thought process is behind putting another rookie? And it doesn't matter if he's the next Max Verstappen. There's a big learning curve. And rookies crash and rookies struggle, and even Oscar Piastri had his troubles with the tires. There's always, and he had a year on the bench at Alpine to be a development driver. So I just think that, what do you think the thought process is? Just sticking a guy in with 9 races to go?
I don't really know. I think they think that is the best option for them because he cannot even drive next year. If he's a rock star this year, if he in the 9 races makes points all the time, he still cannot get in a Williams seat because they have signed Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz. So I think they looked at all the drivers available and they thought because also they know him very well because he's a Williams junior driver. And I think it's pretty cool to put your own driver in because the guy worked for sure a lot in the simulator. He did a lot of work for the team and saying, hey, we have nothing to lose. There is nobody obvious out there which can get us points in the moment, and James, we must always remember at Mercedes, he was also in charge a little bit of the young driver program. Not a little bit, quite a bit. So he has got good data on all the young drivers, He knows them all very well. It's not like he has to go and ask somebody. James, he was the chief strategist, but also he was looking after all the data-driven driver development, or who is out there, who is quick. He put all that together. So I think he has got a good database, who is good out there from the drivers which haven't raced or haven't raced a lot. And obviously there is nobody obvious out there which has
good data on Sargeant.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He inherited Sargeant. I don't think he picked Sargeant. I mean, we need to be fair with him,
Do you think that he was as connected to Sargeant in that way? You saying no?
I don't think so. Because otherwise, as Matt says, he has to change his where he gets the data from. His data sources.
Right. Well, what happened to a guy like Sargeant? Because in F3, he was challenging Oscar Piastri. He had a pretty decent, junior career. I mean, when you see it's, now we're looking at Oscar, how great he's doing, and there was a time where I know it was Sargeant's, I believe, his second year in F3 versus Oscar's first, but there was a time where they were neck and neck, and now all of a sudden they're on opposite ends, they're on polar opposites of the F1, power rankings here. Yeah. What happens to a guy like that?
First of all, also we need to with Logan Sargeant. He never. I don't think he ever had a non-troubled season in F3 or F2. He changed team or something. I don't know because James Vowles had got all the data. So I don't have it. So I think he never had a real solid year in one team, one car, or maybe he had 1 year solid. Then he came and he went and he came back in a different team. So it was always so very difficult also to judge. But he had talent, but some people come to Formula One and that's always the difficult bit to know. How ready are they? But if you think how much effort is going in, for example, to Kimi Antonelli, from Mercedes side and compare it with what into Logan. I mean, Kimi Antonelli, everything was prepared to the perfection for him to do well. From go-karting onwards, he got the full support of a manufacturer. He has got trainers. He got everything. His finances were sorted out. He just had to go racing. I think Logan Sargeant had to make his own way all the time. It was always a little bit short everywhere. That's my opinion. And then you get to F1, you don't have the network like a Kimi Antonelli or Ollie Bierman has got, being part of a big development, of a team with a big development program. You do your own, like Ollie Bierman comes to a race. He has got Ferrari there to go to. They do everything for him. Same for Kimi Antonelli.
I mean, you're looking at this F2 season, and we're going to get to the race. We're going to get to Lando. But the race was a snoozer, and we've already talked about them enough. But it's interesting. You're looking at what's happening in F2 right now, and there's these two guys destined for F1 greatness, and in the standings they're kind of nowhere.
The best one is Colapinto. The best one is Colapinto.
Right, of the three. I mean, Antonelli's in 7th, Behrman's in 15th. And Behrman's considered, Behrman got the seat before Antonelli. I mean, Aaron, Hadjar, Bortoletto. These guys must be, it's
how do they not go on a rampage and just start punching random people in the face?
or they go on strike. What do you think, huh? So something like this. No,
maybe they should unionize.
But it used to feel like, when Lando and George and Albon all went in, it was like they were the three going neck and neck in F2. They were the guys with the heat on them, and then they graduated. And now it's like the guys who are coming up are kind of nowhere in F2. And so it kind of just seems like, well, who gives a shit if you win the F2 championship this year? It's like, who cares? These,
What you have to say this year, Pavement and Kimi Antonelli are in the same team, Prema Racing. And they were always one of the best, if not the best team in F2, not in F3. But
right.
And this year with the new car, in the beginning, Prema struggled a little bit. That's what everybody tells me. So it's a little bit, it's not blaming the team. Sometimes this happens. You cannot be always number one. And I think they didn't have a good time in the beginning of the season. And Kimi Antonelli, I think afterwards, he recovered a little bit, but obviously, making up is difficult. But you're right. If you look at it, if you don't find excuses, why are they taking, the guy which is 6th, 7th and 15th to Formula 1 and not the guy which is 1, 2, 3? Because Hadjar, I think it's very good, he's a very good driver. So, but he's Red Bull, so Red Bull, hasn't got a seat for him, so he will stay in Formula 2. If he wins, he cannot stay in Formula 2. That's the only thing. Or they put him in a car next year.
Red Bull has 4 seats, and they got no seats for anybody.
Correct, and they've got how many drivers waiting, young ones, and they keep the older ones in, So that will change, Matt. Now, just give it a little bit of time.
I want to.
Marco said that Lawson will be in F1 next year. He has said that. Now, who knows? Sometimes you can believe what he says, sometimes you can't. What are your thoughts on?
Yeah, how much salt do you shake? How much salt do you take when Marco says something? No salt. A little bit of salt, a whole shaker of salt.
Yeah.
Could be anything. I mean, it's like, he said it, because then Christian comes with his version of it, what he wants to do, and then they have to meet on Monday and decide what they're going to do. Huh? So, and then they tell us what they're going to do. So, no, I think Liam Lawson will be in an F1 car next year. He did so well last year when he jumped in for Danny, So, and obviously he's doing a lot of simulator. They know a lot more than we know about him. And he was always good. He's one of them as well, which I think has got a good career in front of him. He just needs to sit in a car consistently.
I want to drill down 2 things. First, back to the wreck really quick before we move on for Logan Sargeant. When he wrecked that car and they're like, they're going to scramble to get him ready for qualifying, and they cut and the mechanics are just sitting there. They're not moving. Have you ever been tempted? Do you think part of them was like, why are we breaking our necks to get this car ready for qualifying? The guy's going to either crash or get P20. Have you ever, let's not, because this never happened to you. Can you imagine yourself being the head of a backmarker team, having a rookie that's coming in last anyway, throw it in the wall? And have you ever been like, why even get it ready for qualifying? Who gives a shit? Have you ever had that thought? Could you see yourself having that thought?
I think I had that thought when after in Saudi Arabia, when Mick didn't start the race because it was so wrecked so hard, because it didn't make sense to me put it together again. It didn't make sense.
Could you have fixed it?
Yes, but it would have maybe compromised the race after. You can know. Yeah, that was the thought there. It wasn't like, no, we don't do it because we don't want to. It was like, well, if we do this and then there's another wreck, we cannot go to the next race because we don't have enough parts. So you need to pick your battles. But that car cannot be ready for qualifying was clear, because once a car is on fire, you cannot get a car ready in 2.5 hours because you have to change all the wiring harness, and that's you need to get it down to the chassis to do that, and that you cannot do in 2.5 hours.
It's a loser mentality. Okay, my next
you
question
would have tried. You would have tried to fix it.
Yeah. The next question is how much weight? Because they talk about this. This brings me up to Jack Doohan. They're talking. It's like, I feel like it's a bit of a smokescreen to justify decisions, but maybe I'm wrong. But when they talk about a guy who hasn't won in F2 or F3, they love to talk about the guy's simulator work. They go, oh, because we can't see it. All we can see is where he finished F2 and F3. They go, guys, you should see what he does on the simulator. It's incredible. He's incredible in the simulator. How much do you actually value when you have a Haas reserve driver? He's sitting back in the factory. Do you ever go home and you look at his simulator times? You're like, holy shit, I might have to give this guy a shake.
No, but I think they do it more out of. I think he drove the car, an older car, the 2-year-old car, and maybe they've got some data from that, and they think he's good. But it's a lot of doing the simulator is not, it's nice the first 6 months, but then it's a hard job, I think, and also a little bit out of respect, but they're in the same position. They say, we know this guy, we developed this guy, we invested money in this guy who actually is out there, which is clearly better than him, which we can get. They tried to get Carlos Sainz, couldn't get Carlos Sainz. So what do? You pick the devil, and that's what it was, So I think they just said, okay, this guy was stuck to us, stuck to Alpine. Now he did a lot of work. We give him the chance, but I think if he doesn't perform, it will not. Again, but who you replace him with, that's always the problem as well. But I think Flavio will not wait around 2 years to replace him if he doesn't perform. But I think Jack Doohan knows that, he now needs to perform. But getting the chance is it's more than half of the battle, because now it's down to you, buddy. It's like you got the chance, right. Now go and do it. If you don't do it, F1 career is over. It's a brutal business, right? Very brutal, almost like a funeral.
That's right. It is a brutal business. Now, there's a lot more to discuss. We got some news items, but let's get to this race. Let's talk about the Dutch GP, this dominant performance from McLaren. Lando Norris wins by 22.8 seconds. He says the Max's catchphrase at the end on Max's home turf. Now, Guenther, we've talked a lot about, if this championship is open, and you were saying, you've been saying that both championships, the door is open. How are you feeling about this championship battle, both constructors, but more importantly, drivers, after what you saw at the Dutch GP on Sunday?
I think, for me, the favorite in the constructor now is McLaren. It's just a question of a few races and they will be on top. I don't think that's a question anymore. If they don't mess up something or Red Bull finds some magic somewhere, they're done. I mean, McLaren will win it. It will be, Lando is further away, but it's not, I mean, if you think, I think he said, I don't think I can get there. Lando, I think you can get there, buddy, because it's like, Max will not always finish seconds, neither will Lando win all the races. I know that as well. But, if he's got a little bit lucky, or if he's not unlucky, put it this way, if he doesn't get unlucky, he will be fine. And it will be a big battle. It's not a done deal. I mean, the manufacturer, I think it's done that McLaren will be in front of them in between 3 and 4 races. But I'm still think that Lando can win. I give it a 50-50 on the drivers and an 80-20 on the constructor, or 90-10 on the constructors.
50.
Yeah.
50-50.
Yeah.
We should get both of you in a suit, because this is a funeral for both of your guys' sense of reality.
You know nothing anyway, so, just ignore him, Brian.
Yeah, Matt, shut up, dude. Yeah, Guenther, it's us. It's us.
Exactly, yeah.
We get
Jenny,
it.
click him out. Shut him down.
Yeah.
Shut him down, yeah.
But here's the thing. I think everyone knew that McLaren was going to be the fastest car in Zandvoort. But was anyone expecting a 22-second victory?
I think it could have been a lot more if Lando would have won the start. I mean, It would have been at least between 30 and 40 seconds. But if you look
Lando
on Friday,
would win the start, that is ultimate. If my mom had balls, she'd be my dad at this point. He's never won a single start.
He will learn. He's learning. Give the guy time.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
Give him time.
Yeah.
But it also seems like it also seems like the McLaren car sucks on this, struggles on the start. Oscar had similar wheel spin on the start. If they figure that out, I guess it's like, because we have trouble trusting Lando's killer instincts. Lando's like, I'm just gonna take it. I have the fastest car, so of course I'm gonna win every race. But if this car is so much faster, is there a chance? Does a almost 23 second, and he lost the start, took him 18 laps to get there, but he still won by 22. Can these other teams catch that? McLaren seems to be on, their development just seems to be on another level.
Yeah, everything they develop, it works. like it should be doing. I mean, I don't know how they do it, but they're doing a fantastic job. But it's like that's what it is in the moment. But when 4 or 5 months ago, you said, "Oh, Max will be winning this championship again at halfway through the season," So somebody else can come up and McLaren can mess it up, They can screw it up, what they're doing. So it's not like, but I think they're now I think they understand what the car needs to be fast. That sounds maybe strange, but it's like they know what they need to develop to make the car fast, while the other ones tried things and they don't work out.
I guess what I would like to see from Lando, they were talking about this on the race podcast. They were saying he doesn't win enough. He's got to start winning some 50-50 races. They were saying, I thought that was such a good way of putting it. Like, if I just want to see him great, he won a race that his car was way faster, but I just want to see him win some races where it's like everything's where it could go either way, and he and McLaren just need to get everything right. Because I don't think do you think that they're just going to be 20 seconds ahead every race? Because
no,
if that's the case, then maybe, yeah.
Then maybe we don't watch it anymore, huh?
Yeah, we're entering into this run of Lando dominance is really boring. It's really boring, the sport.
Yeah, you start already being negative. Try to be positive. So go back. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but how he overtook Max, I was like, wow, he lost the start. He will be struggling now to go past Max. But like all the other ones, Oscar couldn't get past the Ferrari. He tried, couldn't do it. But I think Lando went too well. I would say also Max was not fighting as hard as he does normally, because I think Max now realized, I better bring home P2 now for the points to win the championship instead of fighting with somebody who is clearly faster than me, because they know that. So maybe I would say, I wouldn't say Max let him by, but he could have put his elbows out a lot more, in my opinion. Right. But he passed him and then drove away. So, but he's not this bad, Lando, as you try to make him. Yeah, he never won a start. I mean, that's the biggest problem. So, but some people told me that how, for example, Max prepared his tires to get to the start a lot more than the other ones. But that's, I think, an instinct he knows now he needs to do. And they will learn to do that as well. I spoke after the race with Zach, and he said there was just the reaction time we all saw was very good. But then after a few hundred meters, he just had wheel spin. He had wheel spin. But how is the wheel spin controlled? By the throttle. Who is controlling the throttle? The driver. And you cannot say, if you have got downforce, you got the dogs on a straight. It's not that what is missing, that your wheels spin. So I think he just needs to modulate. And if there is something technical or mechanical there which doesn't work, they will find out. But I think it's just like Max is very good in doing it as well. He didn't win a few championships because he's useless.
No, we know he's amazing. But but there's this McLaren car does seem to be, when on its day, it's serious. Leclerc's face afterwards said it all. But what did you make? There's been a lot of talk about what Lando said afterwards. This, simply lovely. What are your thoughts on him using Max's catchphrase after beating Max at his home race?
But he says it in a very nice way, It's not it's not a nice way how he's. Yeah, he always says things. I mean, but look his reaction when he had pole. He was like, okay, I got pole. Thank you. He won the race, He shakes everybody's hand. There's no euphoria, I think it's his character. It's just his character, But I think how he said it was pretty nice. It wasn't aggressive,
What if I started going on doing media and just saying, "Don't fuck smash my door" all the time? Wouldn't that get you kind of irritated?
No.
And made it my thing.
I couldn't care less. Just say it all the time.
Yeah, and made it my thing.
I wouldn't care.
Wait,
Max
Guenther,
doesn't care.
But you don't think that that's a shot that he's using his catchphrase after him beating him on his home race? You think that was Lando being nice? You think that was Lando being nice, really?
Yeah, but it wasn't nasty. He didn't say it to aggravate Max, I think. No. Or maybe
Why did he say
I
it?
could say something very mean to you in a nice tone of voice, and I think you might get offended.
It's subtext.
I don't think Max gets
he,
offended. Max doesn't give a shit about it. I can tell you that much.
But why would he say? Why did he say it then?
And to all the people who say, by the way, that we're making a mountain out of a molehill, F1 is the biggest molehill that there is. All the things going on in the world, we're just screaming about a bunch of cars going around in squiggly circles. So just you guys shut up. Whole thing's a fucking molehill. Anyway.
It's shit talk. It's shit talk. That's what it is. Yeah. It's nice shit talk. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek shit talk. But
tongue-in-cheek. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, but it isn't nasty, you know. Come on. Lando is not a nasty guy.
Brian, that Guenther, he's such a bastard, isn't he?
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
I said it in a nice tone of voice. So it's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Maybe you guys are I think in the paddock, you guys are just cut from some different stuff, you know?
You need a thicker skin, you guys, you know?
I got a thick skin. Everyone's trying to beat positivity into me. Everyone's like, you're so negative.
We're a couple guys from New York, okay? Like shit talk is in our blood. This is what we do for a living. We know it when we see it. It takes one to know one.
Jeez. Now I got.
Oh, by the way, I forgot my nickname for you.
Oh, right.
King Guenther.
How did you come up with that one this time?
No? Kendrick? Ask Greta about Kendrick. Anyway.
All right. I will ask Greta about Kendrick.
All right. So your former employee, let's talk about your former employers. We're in some legalistic waters, let's say.
Yes.
Was it a repo situation?
Repossession. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They will take his house away. He didn't pay the mortgage, you know. So
that's right. Yeah. There was a yellow notice put on their front door.
Yeah. It's like you go to your favorite restaurant, Haas, and there's just a bunch of IRS things on it. What was happening there?
Yeah.
They didn't pay money. What's normally happening, you know. They didn't
That's your experts. That's
professional
your expert
opinion.
My expert, but my expert professional opinion, like I call it. They didn't pay the money they had to pay, and then somebody says it's not yours anymore because I want money from you. Now, you know this Uralkali thing from 2022 when the war started. There was an arbitration. It was decided that they had to give some of the sponsorship money back, which they got before, and then Mazepin couldn't race, and Uralkali couldn't sponsor the car anymore, so they had to give some money back. And guess what? They couldn't send the money, they said. They couldn't send the money, you know? They couldn't send the money. So what I think what happened...
Because what was the excuse?
No, they couldn't. Because of sanctions and things like this. So what I think what happened, they couldn't send the money for 2 months. So somebody comes and says, I take your stuff if you don't give me money. Then they said, we need to give them money. Then they called Cash App up and told Cash App, send the money to them. And that is how they got the money. You know, that is how Cash App, which we love, you know, sorted that problem out, you know.
They sorted it out because it can be hard to send money. It's difficult to send money sometimes, and sometimes you need an amazing service application to do that. Cash App probably helped make that happen.
I think the money didn't go to a country which is under sanction, you know, because Uralkali is a very big company. They have got subsidiaries all over the world. As far as I know, what do I know, you know? So
yeah, you had nothing to do with the severance between Haas and Ural.
No, it didn't come to me. The money. Don't worry, Matt. The money didn't come to me. No.
No, but I'm saying you had nothing to do with terminating that relationship.
No.
There was not a very famous season of a very famous show on Netflix that sort of detailed that excruciating.
I know nothing. Okay. I know.
Yeah, there's no book. There's no your own words writing about the process of that. Yeah.
How I did it.
It must be nice, like when you're at a job and then like you have a client that you're dealing with, and then like something happens while you're there, and you're like, let me get the fuck out of here, and then it's blowing up after the fact. You're like, it's like the guy, you know,
there's a German word for that.
Yeah.
Schadenfreude, Matt. I think you said that one before.
Yeah. How are you feeling? I mean,
a little bit.
I mean, the week before, Io saying, wow, Haas is such an amazing organization without Guenther. Look how good we're doing. And today, and the next week, they're getting repo men sent to their garage in the Netherlands. You're not feeling a little bit of schadenfreude?
No, I'm amused at watching it because it could have been sort of a complete different way. I'm amused, not
amused.
Amused. I call it amused. It's like,
okay. We'll read between the lines. We'll read between those lines.
Yeah, exactly. You fill between the lines, with your own thoughts.
Okay, so that happened. But what else are you taking from this Dutch GP? I mean, what were your other takeaways besides the McLaren of it all? Anything else?
How open the championship is. I mean, now going to Monza, who knows what will happen? Because the Monza repaved completely. They changed some of the turns. I don't remember. I read it somewhere what they changed a little bit, but the biggest change is the repavement, and it's the low downforce. So maybe somebody has got a very good, developed a very nice package, and in Monza, we have got a different winner again. It's this year. Nothing is for granted, but, you asked me what I think of Zandvoort, not of Monza. So I have to go back to that question.
Well, I think we could spend some time on Monza as well. But yeah, what were your other thoughts on Zandvoort?
It was a very interesting weekend because the practice and everything was always, there were never really anybody knew where people were because it was the rain and the wind. Right. I think you guys should go to Zandvoort. It's a very cool place to go to. It's one of these old tracks, but the people are special there in Holland, as we all know. So, but no, otherwise everything was very calm, except that after Zandvoort, Logan Sargeant got sacked. Haas almost didn't make it to the next race.
Did you see any tears in the crowd? Was anybody crying?
Because of Logan?
No, because of Max getting P2.
I thought about Logan. Nobody knew about him that he was even racing, so they couldn't cry about him,
Right.
So,
That's right.
No. The Dutch, they were still happy, I think if they like somebody beside Max, it's Lando. Don't ask me why. I mean, they were, but, it's like, he hasn't lost a championship.
His mother's Belgian, I think. His mother's Belgian, which is close enough.
Yeah.
No, Lando's mother's Belgian too.
As well. I didn't know that because Max's mother is Belgian. So that's for maybe they're big friends. So maybe that's for they like them, You know it all.
Okay, well, why don't we do our Rockstar and Wanker for Zandvoort, brought to you by Cash App. Guenther, who's your Rockstar for the Dutch GP?
I was thinking, because I was prepared this time, because I came prepared, Zak Brown, what he did with the team to put it in that position, because we cannot always find an excuse not to give it to people or not tell people they are wankers, We need to go to the people. I mean, good old Zak. I mean, last year they start the season, they're completely shit, turn it around. Within 5 races, they get in the points. Everybody, what the hell is happening here? A year later, they are winning races with half a minute distance, So obviously, I know that Zach hasn't done the work, because I mean, and
it takes a village.
Maybe he even listens to it, but he doesn't get upset when I say this, But he's pretty lazy, So, but I mean, you don't need to work hard if you're smart.
I'm sorry, are you trying to give him Rockstar? Are you trying to
expand on that? Well, we love a lazy Rockstar, dude. I love
exactly,
a lazy Rockstar.
That is the easy. If you are lazy and be so good, can you imagine?
What do you mean Zach's lazy?
He's always relaxed. He's always chilled. He's all over the world, going Indy cars, going F1 races, racing
playing
himself.
A lot of golf.
Playing a lot of golf. Spends a lot of time on the course.
Yeah, racing his own cars. He's got a collection of old race cars. He does he does nothing. He likes doing nothing more than racing cars. I always tell him I know how you get in, but I don't know how you get out anymore. But of the car. So, but anyway, it's like I think what he did with the F1 team is something. Think about it. How many people have done that?
For a guy who does it, and for a guy who does it, apparently, according to you, as a hobby.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he would work hard, what he could do?
Yeah.
I mean, that's for even more Rockstar. I mean, it's anyway. So I think if you agree, we give it this time to.
Yeah,
I love it.
Zach,
as much as we insulted now, Zach, as much as we insulted him, he's still a Rockstar, So who cares?
Absolutely.
Part of being a rock star is doing the bare minimum.
Exactly.
And still getting and still succeeding.
And enjoying the life, enjoying life,
And enjoying
it's called rock and
the
rock.
There is three words, which obviously, rock star.
The lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, and who is your wanker for Zandvoort?
I would say we have to go to Haas there by not paying your bills.
Pay your bills, Haas.
That is the thing you do. You got to pay your bills, huh?
Yeah,
And-
it's called being.
It's called being an adult.
It's called being an adult.
This is big Haas behavior right here. All my
Oh wow!
opened.
Are you paying
at
them?
that.
Big Haas behavior.
Do you pay your bills?
What I like to do is I like to get the bills, ignore them, and then when I get a very angry call from somebody, I pay.
Yes.
All right.
That's what I like
And
to
that
do.
credit and that credit score be a diving,
That's
baby.
right. That's right.
It cannot go
We're just
any lower. It has bottomed out, It's bottomed out, the credit score. It's like hit the floor,
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Okay, yeah, Haas, pay your bills. Pay your bills, Haas. This is it's the basics.
Yeah,
Brush your
the basics.
teeth. Brush your teeth. Wipe
Wash
your
your
ass.
hands.
Pay
Wash
your
your
goddamn
hands.
bills.
Yeah. Wash your hands and pay your bills, yeah.
Vankas, not only does Cash App sponsor our favorite perfectly branded Formula One team, but they also make it easier for you to save money so you can do things that you love, like going to an F1 race. Boobies. Listen, to be honest, we thought that Cash App was just a way to send people money, right? You just send people money. Hey, Cash App me. Okay, I got you. But actually, it's a faster and simpler way to bank. You can start saving with as little as $1 with no hidden fees, no minimum balance requirements, and no account fees. Minimum balance requirements is crazy. It's just like, let me live. And Cash App lets you do that. And we all know that overdraft fees make no sense. Why are you charging someone if they don't have any money? Plus, when you deposit $300 or more in paychecks, you can get up to $50 in free overdraft coverage. It pays to get paid on Cash App. So go download the app today. Now back to the show. Okay, wait, let's talk about Monza. Let's discuss Monza with this race coming up. So the pavement there, when a track is newly paved, obviously, it means there's going to be maybe grip issues. What does that bring to you? What headache does that give you when a track is newly paved?
You don't know the grip level. I mean, you can measure the roughness, the micro, macro, you can measure everything, but you don't know because it's still tarmac. It's still not, as developed as you think it is. You cannot, until you drive on there and you get a grip level, you don't know what it is. And non-racing track is the same as another. Either they use different tarmac, different size of stones in it. It's apparently, it's a black heart, That was a clever saying, black heart, because it's black. The tarmac, so nobody really knows until you're driving there what you've got. So everybody needs to go out there and see what the grip level is, to see what is happening with your tire wear and stuff like this. So
what does Monza normally give to you? What are like the things that you're thinking about going into Monza? Because that's a track. I love that track because it seems to me like the simplest, easiest track.
It's unique.
Yeah.
Liam Lawson said that too. He said it's the easiest track. That's why they might have wanted to bring Colapinto in, because I think it's the simplest track. But wanted to know
because going on a straight line is not difficult, huh?
Right.
Yeah. No, it is because it has very few corners, long straights, but it's unique, and everybody now develops a special package for this racetrack, because what you need is low drag, because you make all the time on the straight, by being fast.
Right.
So that's what everybody's trying, and I don't know, some people try to use that package as well in Saudi Arabia and a little bit in Baku, but I don't know if they do that this year. But when you go to Monza, people bring this package, and there was years when Williams always was fantastic on these high-speed tracks. Last year, or 2 years ago, when Nick de Vries drove, I don't know, instead of who, somebody was injured or something, and he had a very good result. Alex, that's appendicitis. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He jumped in for Alex Albon, and he had a very good result, and he got a permanent seat, which he lost again after half the season.
Right.
Yeah, he didn't. Bornick, he's a good guy.
Do you think that maybe that like we were speculating at that time that like maybe he looked better than he maybe actually was because Monza is maybe one of these tracks that is not as technically difficult as other tracks?
And,
you think that maybe that added to it?
And the Williams was good there on low downforce. The Williams they were good for a long time on these low downforce tracks. He looked better than he was. Right. I mean, he was, and I actually spoke with him afterwards, and he actually told me that he said the car I was at the right place at the right time.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then he was.
You would never say that.
Wrong time.
Then he was at the very wrong place at the very wrong time.
And now he's back in Formula E.
And now he's back in Formula E. So yeah, I mean, you were throwing up your hands a little bit as to who's going to win there. But if you had to put some money down, if you had to throw some money into BetMGM, one of our amazing sponsors, who are you betting on come Sunday with regards to Monza?
I'm betting on Oscar Piastri.
Wow!
Oh,
give it to me. Give me. Tell me
why.
Yeah,
tell us more.
Tell us more.
I just see it. There is nothing behind it. I think the McLaren will be strong. It's a lot easier track to learn because he's still young there. So I think he's got a good chance to do well there. I just think because the McLaren is good, he's got a good chance to do that. I think if Lando is second, they swap positions. But that is, I say that. But maybe Lando is not second. I don't know. But I think the McLaren, because they are so strong lately, so I think they will be strong also in Monza.
Yeah, Oscar Piastri to win Italy plus 700.
Oh.
That means you put 100 down, you win 700. If he wins. Guenther, I think we might have to make that bet.
You could put $5 and win a decent amount.
So what are you guys thinking? That. Yeah. So what are you guys thinking?
I'm thinking that it's Lando Norris is going to win 6 of the next 9. That's what I'm thinking because I'm Delulu, as the kids would say. I'm thinking he wins 6 of the next 9.
I heard 9 out of 9 because
no. I said he's winning. I'm saying he's winning 6 of the 9, and he could still win the championship winning that many. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna match Guenther. I'm gonna say I'm gonna throw my lot with Oscar Piastri. He's gonna be licking his wounds after having a rough Q3 and being sniffing Leclerc's butt for and Russell's butts for half the race in dirty air, and everyone calling Lando after 1 week the second coming of Jesus Christ. I think he's gonna be pissed off. I think he's gonna be locked in.
Vankers, as you know, we have teamed up with BetMGM this season. They are our presenting sponsor, and in fact, today, because we're recording this on Sunday, I put $100 on Lando Norris to win this race, and guess what? I won 185 because he was plus 185. And I did that on BetMGM. And if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code DADDY and you will get up to $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app and sign up using the bonus code DADDY. Deposit at least $10 and place a wager on any game. You will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure that you use the bonus code DADDY when you sign up. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and over. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY for New York. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. 1-800-BETS-OFF for Indiana. 1-800-981-0023 for Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code DADDY and get your $1,500 first bet offer today. Now back to the show. Wait, back to what other news do we really have to discuss? I guess I kind of want to go back to this Franco Colapinto kid. Do you know much about him? What's the word on the street about this young man?
The name came out last weekend after FP3. That James Vowles wants to change it, and then the obvious candidates came up who should replace him, and then somebody said, I think it will be Colapinto, and I actually said it to some of the guys I was there, and I mean, I know the name, I don't know the guy, to be honest, I don't know him, but it's just like, because he is there, development driver, and that's what it should be. The development driver should be the first pick if you put somebody in the car, in a team. And I think they just do what they're supposed to do. I mean, we had the same. We put Pietro when when Grosjean had his accident, we put Pietro in. I mean, there was a lot of people trying to get in the car, but it's like you say, no, but the reserve driver, he hangs around, he goes around to races, he does simulator work, he does a lot of work. Give him the chance when it comes. And we said it before, there is not the obvious very good driver out there to wait to jump into a car in the moment. There is not a world champion without a seat. I mean, I think he was another candidate. He was a candidate, and obviously, because there is so few, and he put himself in a position being the Mercedes reserve driver. Obviously, Williams having a tie with Mercedes, that was rumored a lot that Mick will take the seat, because he had 2 years in Formula One. But obviously, James Vowles prefer Colapinto.
Do you think there's a financial element to this? Because, Jenny's in the chat saying that Franco's maybe bringing some money, that these 9 races that he might say, hey, I want in, hey, pick me, choose me, what's your routing number? Let me cash app you some. I can cash app you some money. Let me.
So we make sure it arrives in time. So
that's right. So. Do you think there's a financial element to this thing?
Money always helps, especially in F1. I mean, we all know that, and I don't know that he brings money, but I could believe that. I can believe that he brings some sponsorship to the team, and everybody. An F1 team always needs money. So if they say he's the right pick and he brings sponsorship, that obviously helps. So it could have been a helper.
Guenther, you're also bringing up you also had some journalistic insight about his name having a certain meaning.
Yes.
Yeah, go to Google Translator. I don't remember what it was. It was just pointed out by some Brazilian friends that they said it means something completely different in Portuguese.
Apparently it means glue dick. Colapinto means glue dick.
Thank you.
But apparently glue dick, Colapinto, is bringing the Automobile Club of Argentina will be bringing $500,000. Globant will be bringing $3 million, and Mercado Libre will be bringing $1 million. So the rumors are that he's bringing $4.5 million worth of sponsorship to the team, which might make up for half of the damage that Logan Sargeant's done to the car this year.
How much does that move the needle? $4.5 million. Is that pocket change? Is that raise your eyebrows?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's not pocket change, but it isn't like it doesn't change the way you're doing things. It helps, and it's always welcome, But it's not something that you say, "Whoa, that's a stupid amount of money." No, it's a good amount of money, and I think the sponsors, they want to be part of it, because in Argentina this is a big thing, having an Argentinian driver in Formula One.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the economy is doing in Argentina. As far as I know, it's not very good. So, but in the end, and in Argentina, racing is part of the country, so it's part of their culture. Is big in Argentina, racing,
Let's not forget Fangio.
Fangio, yeah. I mean, Fangio, there is a lot of, there is a lot of Reutemann. It's quite a lot of people from Argentina. Yeah, they've got a few great ones, and it's very big in Argentina. So for sure, there is interest from sponsors to get an advantage out of it. They don't give him money just to help him to be in Formula One. They give him money that they get something back, which is they sell more stuff, because Colapinto is their man,
Right. I'm curious what numbers, like when you're a team in the kind of the Williams area, kind of, on the not as much budget, like what's a realistic number that like you're excited about? Like, is it 10 million? Is it 15 million? Like
how much money for me to drive the car?
Yeah.
You cannot bring enough, Matt. Sorry.
What if I had a super license? Let's say I was an average F2 driver.
I think in the moment
behind Yuki Tsunoda in F2 back in the day, how much money would I need to bring to get on the grid?
With money, you cannot get into Formula One anymore. You need to have some talent. It's like
okay. Well, let's say you're medium. Let's say you're like, but you're like okay. Obviously, schmucks like Matt and I can't get into the grid. But let's say you're someone who people aren't really paying attention to. You're not Kimi. You're not Beerman, but you're one of these guys in F2 who like has had his day in the sun. I've had a couple of good races. I've maybe won a couple of times, like, but no one cares about me. And then all of a sudden, my grandfather dies, and we didn't know this, but his house was actually made out of gold, and all of a sudden I'm a billionaire. I come to you and I say, hey, I'm a mid F2 driver, but I want to drive for Formula One. What am I bringing to the table? What does it cost?
I don't think if you're not decently good, you cannot get that at cockpit anymore now these days.
But
really,
it's good. It happens. Doesn't it happen? It's happened.
I think that was not the reason why they took him. I do not think that is the reason.
Logan Sargeant,
no, he had a pretty good time. Is there like, if you are one of these guys who's like not considered, like that isn't that what happened with Nikita? It happened with Nikita. Nikita was
but it was a different position. The team was shutting down if he wouldn't have come, But nobody's in that position anymore now. That's what it is. In the moment, it's like, he brings money, or maybe Colapinto maybe brings money, But it's just like because he had sponsors. But that I don't think that was the reason they took him. It all helps if you have to decide between two drivers which are about. You think they've got the same talent. One brings you 5 million, one brings you a lot of nothing. You take the 5 million. But it's not like that if somebody comes and says, goes to Williams and says, I bring you 50 million, because you could find these people which bring you a lot of money, like Zhu. I mean, we take the example of Zhu. Zhu brings good money. Can he find a seat for next year? No.
Right. So the days of Joe and Latifi are just gone. They're done.
I think in the moment they're gone. They always can come back. I'm not saying that they're gone forever, but in the moment they're gone.
Is that because because of the rise in popularity of Formula One, that these teams are more profitable than they ever used to be? That back in the day, these were just they were money-losing organizations. And now, even if you're at the bottom, you can be turning profit. You can like make something happen there. Yeah,
you can, not everybody's turning profit, but you can survive and you can do it. But it has completely changed, but also because it is distributed the money better or more equal than it was before. So the lower teams have got more money already to start off with. Plus there is more money because it's more popular, so they can finance themselves better. And then if you're doing better in the championship, you get more money than before. It's much more equal between the big teams, the distribution of the money. So therefore, it's sometimes better not to have a bad driver with money, but to have a good driver which makes you points, and you get the money, you earn the money in the position, and you have fun doing it because you get points and you gain positions in the championship.
And do you remember like a moment where that like shifted, where you were like, oh, this is like a different ball game?
I think it shifted when the new Concord came out in when was that 2021, I think it was 2020 or 21. I don't remember it. Yeah. There where it shifted because it was, everybody knew it was redistributed. And then obviously it shifted, after COVID when, all of a sudden the sponsors started to come in, because if you look how much sponsorship came in after COVID is big, so it got influx there.
Well, is it after COVID, or is it after one television show that happened to be on Netflix that everyone watched during COVID that starred one Guenther Steiner?
That helped. It's all about me. That's where more money came in. Thank you, Brian. Now I'm pumped up again.
Well, you were saying this is an interesting thing for, it's like that this is not part of the game anymore, that like maybe gone are the days of like someone who doesn't have the talent just paying their way in, which I think is ultimately good for the sport. And the reason I'm connecting the dots, the reason that happens, you could be linked directly to Drive to Survive.
Could be linked directly to you.
And could be linked directly to you, and thus directly to us.
You not only fired
there where you want to go. Yeah, exactly.
You not only fired Mazepin, but you paved the way for getting rid of guys like Latifi, and
that's right.
Well, Stroll's still there. Well, that's a
horse of a different color. All right, let's get to our fan questions. Let's get to our fan questions, because as we all know, and as we just said, you're a man of the people. You're the reason that this whole thing, you're the reason that F1 is what it is. This is from Martina Schwartz. Guenther, what would you radio message after your first win in Formula One? If you were going to do you ever have something prepared of like, this is what I would say over the radio?
You know that I have nothing prepared. It will be just the first emotion which comes in my head, you know. And it could be anything, you know. But I know I have nothing prepared. I'm not this prepared. Okay. You guys know that. No, I mean, yeah. I never had that moment, unfortunately.
Okay, this is from It's Ali Lee, and this is kind of in reference to Alonso getting on all fours to look underneath Lando's car. Is it useful for drivers to inspect competitors' cars?
It can be, because I think Alonso understands pretty well what is happening in an F1 car, but can he scan a floor of a McLaren by just looking at it? I don't think so. But he maybe had a look and say, yeah, exactly. They cannot even measure it, you know, by the way. So, I think he tries to look at it and see if he sees something special. Did he get something out? We don't know. He looked at it and tried to find something. So, I mean, why would you not do it?
I guess my question is, that brings me to Williams. What the hell happened there? Do we need to get out your tape measure again? What happened?
It was just too big, as far as I know.
They measure it, but didn't they measure it back at the factory? And then the FIA measured it?
You should. You should. Obviously, they didn't do it, or maybe when it was bolted on, you know, it pushed itself outside a little because it was two-dimensional. Yeah. You know, something like this can happen. But you measure everything with a 3D system. You know, it's called the Leica system. It's all done. You do it yourself, and then. That system sees everything. You don't need a tape measure anymore. It is like, but obviously they have done something wrong or they didn't see it. But if you're a little bit out, it's the same like when Russell was disqualified for 1.5 or 1.4 kilos. It's the same. If you're too big, you're out. There is nothing. It's a measurement. There is no tolerance on it because otherwise these cars grow and grow and grow. You know, there's no tolerance. You're oversized. Go home.
Oh, this one's from Nick Spillert. Did you not like talking to Sky Sports during a race, or did that get annoying?
No, it's, you know, and if you don't want to talk, you just tell them because they call you before and say, can you come in? And then you say, yeah, give me a minute or two, depending where you are at. So it's not annoying, you know, because sometimes when you had shit races like I had last year, it actually distracts you from realizing how bad you are, you know. So it cheers you up, actually, you know. It's actually entertaining, you know. It gives you something to do than to dwell on how bad you are, you know.
You think that's why Mr. James Vowles is always on the horn? Seems like he's there a lot.
Yeah, could be. Because, I mean, they are not doing well, though. So, you know.
Yeah. There are certain guys that are never on the horn.
So, some don't want to do it. Some don't want to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but like Andrea Stella is never on the horn.
He wouldn't do it. I don't think, I mean, I don't never ask him, but I don't think he wants to do it. Just that I want to race. Right. I want to race cars.
Right.
But Zach can be on the horn, no?
Yeah, Zach likes to be on the horn.
Zach likes to be on the horn. He's lazy.
So when you did it, when you were doing it, in the times that you did it, you were just trying to distract yourself, just trying to keep it interesting.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like, okay, there's nothing going on with the car, so, okay, if they call me, it's easy to talk about it, you know. And if you're busy, you just say, I cannot talk. But otherwise, it's quite, it's like, I mean, if you are 17th, 18th, you know, it's like, yeah. What I'm watching. How many laps to go? Yeah. When is my flight? When is my flight out of here? You know. Oh, okay. Oh, can you talk on TV? Yeah, sure. You know.
Yeah. Have you ever like read a New York Times article or done anything on the pit wall when you were like three laps down?
No, they didn't get that bad, Matt. You know, there is a limit to
You never checked an email. You never checked one email on the pit wall.
I think I did more in free practice. In free practice, you check emails, you know. It's like, because it's Friday as well. It's Friday, you know. It's Friday.
Yeah, last day of the week, you know.
Exactly.
There's some more important things going on.
Exactly. And the car is out there doing, you know, long runs. It's like, you get the graphs afterwards, what the car did. I mean, I don't need to, it was fixed. No, you get the graph afterwards. Somebody prepares it for you.
I love it.
Right. So you never once looked at your phone during a race where you're 2-3 laps down? You never texted your wife like, "What's for dinner? Like, where are we going tonight?"
You get sometimes some stupid WhatsApp messages during a race if you're 3 laps down. You know that.
Sure.
Somebody taking the piss out of you. Yeah, you know.
Right.
And if you already feel bad and somebody texts you something where he thinks he's funny, you know, it isn't funny. You know, if you're 3 laps down, it's like,
right.
Who is there anybody we know that's the king of twisting the knife?
Nope. You say the sin, but not the sinner. You know that rule. You know. So
okay. Okay. I didn't know that rule.
yeah.
Oh, so there's some shit talk. Guys like to text.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever
You
texted?
ever texted like another
texted
team
like
principal?
Toto when he gets knocked out in
Yeah.
Q3, Q1, and you're like, "Well,
Or when you run into each other, or something, you text, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Oh, you look at this shit-eating grin you have going on.
What was
Guenther.
the
We need
meanest
detail.
thing you texted Toto?
I cannot tell you because otherwise he gets upset, you know. Cannot upset him, you know. So,
What was the last thing you texted Toto? What was your last time interaction with him?
I think it was because I needed to see him, and I just texted, "Can I come and see you?" or something like this. Oh no, or maybe it was because he did the forward for my second book, so it was something about that one, I think. But now I see him at the race weekends. I see him always, so I don't text a lot in the moment with him.
When Mick Schumacher crashed into Latifi in Abu Dhabi 2021, did you text him something like, "Oops"?
I don't remember that one. When was that?
Abu Dhabi 2021, that Latifi was racing against Mick Schumacher and then threw it into the wall, and then Lewis Hamilton's championship was taken away from him. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, now it rings a bell. No, I didn't text anything. I was hoping nobody texts me. You know, sometimes you're like, I don't think I don't get anything, you know. Yeah, no. So,
do people ever text you? Do people ever text you when you ruin a race from the back? Why did you're in last place and you cause a red flag and then now I can't win because of the safety car?
No. That is not this. Normally text when you run into each other or something like this.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
But did Toto give you any shit after that?
No.
Did he say why?
No, Toto was too busy to give shit to Michael Masi, you know. So he forgot about where the actual incident came from. Thanks God,
Yes,
you know.
right.
Do not wake the sleeping dog here, you know. So,
That's right.
Just leave it as it is, you know. Yeah.
Right.
All right. I think that just about does it. Yeah, we covered the Monza of it all. We covered all of it.
No, I think we talked enough, huh? Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Whoa. Oh God.
Whoa. I'm an old man. It's 10 o'clock, you know. Normally I'm in my pajamas at this time, guys, you know.
All right. We'll let you go. All right. Until next time, Vankas.
Adios.
See you next time.
guys.
Adios. Now we have Colapinto. Adios.
Yes.
That's right. Adios, Vankas.
Yes.